Has been upgraded as of this afternoon to a hurricane as opposed to tropical storm. It is way out in the Atlantic and it's a pretty compact storm. Tropical storm force winds only extending about 50 or so miles from the center. And really what it has out ahead of it is warm water and not much wind shear. So both of those things are expected to help it to continue strengthening pretty fast, maybe in the next day or so. It might be a Category 2 sometime tomorrow. And then it might already be a major hurricane, Category 3, potentially approaching the Lesser Antilles late tomorrow and into Monday. So this could already be a strong storm for some of these islands. Then it starts to encounter some wind shear, which I'll show you in a second. So that might knock it back and make it a bit weaker as it moves across the Caribbean and into the western part of the Caribbean Sea. Note, this is by Thursday. It will be somewhere in this vicinity. So this is a long time that we have anywhere in the Gulf of Mexico or along the Gulf Coast to watch this hurricane. Look at the wind shear forecast. Nothing yet, but you see these brighter colors as it starts to get toward the Western Caribbean. So this could be a good thing to weaken it once it gets towards some of these areas like Cuba and maybe toward Yucatan. Also, just wanted to highlight there are a couple of other spots. I'll show you our models in a second, but we have another spot that may develop out behind Beryl. The next name on the list is Chris. And then we are still officially watching a small system right over Yucatan. This one is expected to take that same route that these systems have been taking into the southwestern Gulf and then into Mexico. So let's look at our model. This is just one model, keep in mind, and the farther out you go, the less reliable, of course, it gets, the more uncertain. So just take it with a grain of salt, but just to show you a general idea, there is that one invest moving into Mexico. I'm going to move on toward Thursday, and you can see there may be these two systems, rather small systems perhaps, in the Caribbean Sea, following each other maybe toward the southern Gulf of Mexico. All the way into next weekend, and again, this is very tentative, but you can see there might be Beryl in the southern Gulf and maybe that other system weakening behind it somewhere maybe in the Western Caribbean or toward around Cuba. So this is, again, a long-term kind of thing that we're going to have to watch. It's really riding at first this ridge of high pressure, strengthening here just to the north, keeping it on this generally westward track. And in the next week, we are actually just looking at a big high pressure, keeping us mainly dry and pretty hot. So this is what we know so far. It is really far out. Again, just to stress that. Impacts for the Lesser Antilles, rain, high wind and surge late tomorrow into Monday. For the Gulf Coast, short term, no impacts. We have a whole week where we're just looking really for hotter and drier conditions toward the end of this week. But long term, we'll have to watch it. It may reach again somewhere around the southern Gulf, potentially a week from now. So again, just something that we're going to keep our eye on as we head into the next several days. Also, just to point out, the other big story is an excessive heat warning tomorrow for our area. That's for a feels like temperature maybe up to 114. Right now, we're already feeling like about 110. Tomorrow, we do have a chance for some scattered showers and storms. We've had a little bit of spotty scattered rain today. Monday is still a chance for rain. It looks hotter and drier with that big high over us later in the week toward the 4th of July and into next weekend. A little scattered rain possible with highs still maybe in the middle 90s.